What's going on, guys? Oregon Motorcycle back with another episode. In today's episode, we're going to be changing the clutch in my R6. I've never done a clutch before in a motorcycle, so this will ought to be fun. See what happens. Should be a slam dunk. But yeah, in this video, I'm going to tell you why I'm changing the clutch and how I'm doing it. So first off, guys, I want to give a special thanks to everybody that has subscribed to my channel so far. I have an adventure coming up next month that's going to be pretty interesting. I'm going to be riding this bike out of state, and I have a new series that I'm going to be starting hopefully this month that is guaranteed to piss almost everybody off. But anyways, you guys, excuse me, let's get started on this clutch. The thing is I've got to take my bottom fairing off. I haven't done anything. I just got home from work, so the bike's still a little warm, but it's not too warm. It's been cooling down a little bit. Anyways, I'm gonna leave the bike on the kickstand because it's tilting it a little bit. See, the instruction manual that I have, the Haynes or whatever, says to drain the oil. But if you look, the bottom of the dipstick here is lower than the lowest bolt here. So I don't see why you have to drain the oil if all the oil is below this anyways. So, and like I said, I'm just gonna leave the bike on the kickstand while I do it. I'm gonna take the fairings off. And then I also got this gasket here. I'm gonna replace this gasket because I don't know if you guys can see, but it's weeping, or at least the screws, that one right there, that screw is, it's got oil on it. So we're gonna replace this gasket also. So yeah, let's get these fairings off. Okay, side fairings removed, the lower fairing, I'm just leaving it right there. I'm gonna start by removing these bolts, the idle adjuster, this hose and clamp, because we're gonna remove this too. With the fairing off, you can see a little bit better now. You can see where there is something going on there. So, and down the side and blah, 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 whatever. Anyways, that's coming off, and this is coming off. First, we're gonna tackle the clutch and get that out of the way. Go from there. So the reason I'm replacing my clutch is because ever since, you know, I got this bike, the clutch didn't feel right. So the lever is adjusted to perfection, but I mean, you know, the cable is adjusted properly. You know, there's a little bit of play right here. The cable's lubed, the slack adjustment, everything's good, proper on that. The problem with this clutch is like right as I pull in and I can feel it, I mean, that's it. That's where the clutch starts. And so I have about that much, and then it's all fully engaged. Now, it doesn't slip at all. It's just a nuisance only having that much clutch. So my thought is this clutch is wore out and it's getting ready to slip, because if that's all you have left, I mean, you should start to feel something here at the bottom. Now, the thing is like once in a great while, if it's cold or something, you know, I might be able to feel like a little bit of pull down here as I start letting out, but it just slips all until you get like, you know, way out at the end or whatever. So it's kind of weird. And then it kicks really hard when you put it in gear, even with the clutch all the way down at the bottom, you know. But that's, you know, somewhat typical in these bikes anyways. But all right, so anyways, I'm just curious to see what the clutch looks like. So I have all the bolts out all the way around. And the manual says, you know, pay attention to the way this, there's like going to be some teeth or something in here that this aligns with or something. And I need to take this cable out. And since we're replacing this gasket anyways, this is, you know, we wouldn't be doing this anyways. So, okay, it's already broke loose just by releasing tension on it like that. So, so I can feel the tension already on this lever here that the manual is talking about, that I'm going to have to reapply when I put it back on, I guess. So just gonna get that out of the way, lift this off. All right, that is a weird angle to go in. I didn't know it was that kind of angle, if you guys can see that. So, all right, so here's the clutch assembly, the plates and the friction discs. We need to remove these bolts in equal spaces. So like, you know, a turn here, a turn there. Here's the two locating dowel pins. I hope you guys can see that. Pin 1, pin 2. I'm just going to leave them in here. And we're going to clean both surfaces, put the new gasket on, and remove these. Okay, I have the springs out now. So we're just gonna start pulling this stuff out here one by one. I'm gonna lay it down and get all these discs out and just stack them on top of each other like they came out. And actually, before I do that, I'm gonna start soaking the new discs in fresh oil. So it's pretty crazy. The whole engine down below is exposed. So if you guys are doing this, just be very careful not to drop anything in there. It's basically what the manual says. So I don't know what you would do besides dropping the oil pan. So all right, so as I'm pulling the discs out, everything is looking really good, except I started getting some of this on a couple of the discs, the friction disc. The first couple that came off, and you could still see the machine marks in it, and the pads on the disc themselves, I mean, they look good. This almost looks like a brand new clutch. Now I just came across this. So one of the plates is broke. As I'm pulling them out, what is this one? This one's second from the back, and this one's broke. So I'm not sure what's going on there. Hopefully this is gonna, or hopefully my new clutch is gonna help the problem. Kind of like playing doctor, but if you fuck up, you'll fuck up your engine. All right, I'm putting this camera down so I can concentrate. Third disc that was busted up. So look at the plate right behind it. It's all blue. It got pretty hot. So there you go. This clutch doesn't look that good now. The further and further I got into it. So you can see how blue this one is. And gold. So I would say like maybe somebody smoked this clutch and maybe it got so hot that it busted one of the discs. I don't know. And then possibly the blued out, or the bluing on these, it's just glazed over. So I don't think it was creating any friction there. So I was probably riding on just a couple of discs. And maybe that's why it took so much for it to engage, you know, so much letting out of the clutch for it to engage. So hopefully when I get this new clutch in right now, yeah, it's gonna solve that problem. So let's get the new clutch in. All right, I got these soaking in the bag they came in. I've just been rotating them every couple minutes. Anyways, they're soaked well enough. And I have the new discs here, the metal discs. I already put the first one in. So I'm gonna go ahead and start putting these in right now. And yeah, we'll get the new springs put in and the pressure plate put on and get it put back together. Got this surface cleaned up. So if you guys are doing this, just make sure that the surface is clean. I just did a little, very, very light scraping. I mean, you could scrape it with your thumbnail basically. And then I took some 1000 grit, kind of went over it. And I stuffed a paper towel in here because I got paranoid. All right, there she is. New clutch installed, gaskets on. I'm ready to put the cover back on and then take this off. And yeah. All right, so I got these bolts torqued down. The torque specs on these are really light, it's like 8 Newton meters or whatever. Everything's in, looking good. Got the gasket on. I'm ready to put the cover on here. And then make sure the clutch actuator down here is working correctly. And then I'm going to pop this off and replace that gasket. All right, it is all buttoned up. I didn't think you guys wanted to see me putting it back together. It's the same thing as taking it apart. So I'm gonna go for a test drive and see how it feels.
I just stopped at Super Torta. If you guys have never eaten here, go eat here. But anyways, the clutch is feeling awesome. It's feeling really super good. It's feeling normal now, like a normal bike should. So I have a lot more slippage area in the brake, in the clutch lever, and all is well. All is well. So I stuffed a burrito in my jacket, and I have a soda in my pocket of my jacket, and I'm gonna go home and eat now and get up and go to work tomorrow. Till next time, guys. Oregon Motorcycle.